Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. I am so honored and excited to be doing this pick a card reading today because this is all about Halloween, which is also referred to as Samhain. So before we get into Samhain, what it is and why it is such a profound time of the year, I want to first acknowledge that there is a skull in this reading, okay? And I've received a few comments over the months, definitely not in the majority here, but a few of you guys have said you don't like skulls or they scare you, or maybe you associate skulls with death or darkness or whatever, and that's why I stopped using them as decor in most of my readings, because I wasn't trying to scare anyone. But let me just say, I love skulls. I find them to be beautiful and fascinating, and what they represent to be beautiful and fascinating. So I ask that you do not come to this reading with fear, because if you look for something, you're going to find it. So I'm sorry if this scares you. That is not my intention. I know that most of you guys are not put off by this type of stuff at all. I know most of you guys are like, no, I think they're great too. But I just wanted to mention that, okay? So now moving on to the good stuff here. So Samhain, what is it? So you guys may have seen this word before. It's not spelled anything like it sounds because it is a Celtic word. It's spelled Samhain, but Samhain was celebrated because it was the final harvest of the season. So it marked the point between the fall equinox and the winter solstice, which is October 31st. So this was the last time that you could collect food or harvest from your plants, because winter was on the horizon and life as you knew it was about to change drastically. So this was the moment where life transitions to death before being reborn again in the spring, like the wheel of life. Animals hibernate, nature seems to die because the leaves are shedding from their home in the trees. It gets colder, the days get shorter, the sun isn't as powerful, is not out for as long. So this translated as a time for retrospect and a time for rest and a time for stillness and contemplation through winter. So people celebrated this darkness because they saw it as a part of life. They didn't see it as evil or as something to fear. They saw it as a part of the cycle of life. It was the other end of the wheel, where instead of life, warmth, light, and sun, you're in a period of darkness, cold, rest, and death. So this darkness is where newness or life begins, like the womb, the void, our subconscious, the place where we can conjure up, create, or destroy. The winter doesn't kill everything, but nature goes into rest to prepare for spring or life, because you have to imagine that nature is using a lot of energy to be able to produce and breathe life and to live. So they need their own time for rest and everything as well, just like we do, just like the planets. They go into retrograde every now and then because everything needs to rest. Even God rested on the seventh day. So rest is a very important thing to nature. It's something that is understood by nature, as well as death is something that is very understood and celebrated and appreciated by nature. So the Celts and ancient peoples saw this as a very important time to connect to. This is a time where the living were closer to the dead, to the void, to the other dimensions. So they would honor their ancestors and the souls that passed on during this time because they were seeking a closer understanding of life. And that's how they saw it. They saw it as, to understand life, you had to also understand death, because death is a part of life. It's a part of the cycle. You have to understand the dark to know the light. Dark and light do not necessarily mean good and evil. That's us that made all this crap up, honestly. But one is light and the other one is just the absence of light. It's that simple, no more, no less. So this is a beautiful time to reflect on the time and the ones that came before, to see how far you've come with what you've learned. This is about retrospect and having an appreciation for the journey that you took to get here in this moment. This is why the veil is so thin as well for Halloween or Samhain, and that's because the living is more quiet. We are more in tune to those subtle energies and other dimensions. It's not that spirit activity kicks up for Halloween. No, the spirit world is always living and moving and growing and shaking. It's thriving all of the time, 24/7. The only difference is that we're more tuned into it because we're more still and we're more quiet during this time. So we are more in tune to those subtle energies and other dimensions. We are more in tune with death and the dark because that's what our environment is reflecting. That's why during the summer, it's all about getting out, socializing, meeting people, having fun, summer flings, partying, traveling, and winter is more quiet. So the veil is thinner. We can see and hear more from other realities and from other realms. We can hear more from our own intuition and higher self. So do not fear the skulls. Do not fear the black. Do not fear the quiet. Don't fear the dark, the unknown, because it's all a part of our reality. And chances are you're only noticing more of these subtle realities because you are more quiet or still. So this is a beautiful thing to celebrate and a great time to release fear and anything else that you just didn't ask for. Just like the trees are shedding their leaves, what do you want or need to shed? If you watched my previous video about the new moon in Scorpio, then you will have already heard me talk about this in great detail about this energy of release and of death came through so strongly with that video, with that reading. Even with the Empress card, who is about abundance, she was sending the vibration of it's time to release so you can pave the way to receive more. All right, so this is what we are celebrating with Samhain, or Halloween, and this is the energy that we are going to be tapping into today with this reading. So this reading is going to touch on what it is you need to release from your life, how you should celebrate this time of release, and if there is a spirit, energy, deity, higher power, anything on the other side that may be looking to contact you this Halloween or this Samhain. So I am getting into all of that within each of these piles. So before we get to these piles, you guys should know the drill by now. Unless you are a new member of the Soul Tribe here, then welcome. And how we do things here is, because this is a general reading, I ask that you come to this reading with an open heart and an open mind, and to tap into your own intuition so that this general reading can resonate to your own individual life. So we'll be doing this reading together in a sense to help you all tap into your own intuition, aka psychic knowing. I'm going to be offering a 60-second meditation. In the last 30 seconds, I will be adding pendulums to each pile as well as rune stones. So if you're drawn to a different pile after I place the pendulums, then that's because there are more messages for you in those other piles. So if you'd like to participate in that meditation, go on and get as relaxed and calm as you can. Become aware of your own body. It's helpful to do this in sections, starting with your feet first. Work that awareness up to your legs, then torso, then head, and down into your arms and hands. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds, allowing that breath to draw down into your belly. Hold that breath for 3 seconds, then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. After breathing deeply a few times, you should be nice and relaxed. So here, this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So when you are ready, we'll start that meditation right now. So here on pile 1, we have the rune of wealth, also known as the mother rune. Here in pile 2, we have the rune of Mother Earth, also known as the rune of birth. And here on pile 3, we have the rune of protection, polarity, and regeneration. I'll give you all another 30 seconds to meditate with the runes and pendulums on each pile. So hopefully that meditation helped you guys to tap into your own psychic knowing. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirited self for these beautiful messages today. I also want to take this time to thank you for opening your hearts to me, these messages, and my channel. I love you all so very much. Now, if you guys are ready, let's get to the cards to see what message the spirit world wants to give you for Samhain. All right, in pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with the tarot cards, and we'll be starting off with this card all the way over here to the left. And this card is going to be showing me, what are you releasing? What does Samhain mark the ending of for you in your life? This card in the middle is going to be showing me how you should spend this time, Samhain, Halloween, or celebrate this time, how you should celebrate the ending of this thing, this cycle. And this card all the way over here to the right will be showing me who will be trying to contact you for Halloween, Samhain, whatever it is you refer to it as. Okay, so let's go on ahead and start off with this card here. And we have the King of Swords. So right away, this is masculine energy. This is leading with your words. This is leading with logic. This is only believing, seeing, hearing, understanding, and accepting the practical. This is not going past the five senses. This is if I cannot see it, hear it, touch it, feel it, smell it, then it's not real. I see the ending here of narrowness and the beginning of expansion. There's something here about learning yourself too. I don't know why, but there's something here about coming to the realization that you haven't been in sync with your true self or with your abilities. I see those beginning to strengthen during this time, but I'm seeing the end of there's only one way, or there's only black or white. It's this or it's that. I'm seeing the end of separation. You're being prepared for integration, or the ability to see how all things are connected. Someone here, if you have intuitively picked pile one, you are in the beginning of a great awakening, whether you have been spiritual prior to this reading or not. Someone is at the beginning of coming into their powers, because I'm seeing, if you've intuitively selected this pile, I'm seeing you come to embrace your true powers. It's like the ending of this confusion about yourself and why you are able to do the things you can do. You may have always noticed that you had these abilities, but you never understood them. You may have kept them to yourself, away from others. I'm seeing you wield them after Samhain, after Halloween here. I'm seeing them strengthen. I'm seeing them unlocked, and I'm seeing them being activated and you fully embracing them. If you look at this card, the way that he is, let me just hold it up. If you look at this card, the way that he is holding this sword here, it's something about the way he's holding this sword. It's like he's been doing it his whole life. It's like that sword is a part of him. It's an extension of his own self. That's what I'm seeing with you and your abilities here. I'm seeing them fully integrate with you because you accept them. You're starting to listen to them. You're starting to hear them and receive them a lot more. So Halloween Samhain will be very profound for my pile ones for sure. It's going to be profound for all of us. But for my pile ones, there's like some great awakening that's happening here. I want to say, like, it almost feels like maybe some of you are new to spirituality, or maybe you're new to this next level that you've ascended to in your own spiritual journey. There's a lot of just like you discovering things about yourself, about your abilities, about your powers. And I'm talking about like your magical abilities and powers. Okay, let's go ahead and check this card out to see how you should celebrate Halloween, Samhain this time, whatever you refer to it as. And we have here the Three of Wands in reverse. So I'm seeing this as practice, which I know sounds weird, but because the Three of Wands is someone this is someone that is ready. They have been planning, they've been preparing for this moment. They're about to step out on this plan to execute it. To see this in reverse, upright, that's what this card talks about. This card talks about somebody stepping out to execute a plan, something that they've been preparing and prepping for and planning for. So to see this in reverse is saying to me that you need to connect with something, because there's a disconnect here. The Wands is all about spirit, energy, passion. So you need to connect first by practicing, by learning, by understanding the power that you have with your abilities within yourself. Before you start conjuring up things and altering realities, you need to truly connect with your abilities and what you can do. There needs to be a level of understanding that, yes, these abilities are cool and exciting, but to whom much is given, much is required. Anytime power is attached to something, the wielder of that power, like the King of Swords here, the way that he's wielding that sword, the wielder of that power, the person that is holding that power, becomes the party responsible for what that power does, for the outcome of that power. So this is not something to take lightly. Another thing I'm seeing here is the way to celebrate Samhain is to reflect on where you've come from. It looks like instead of him looking forward, it looks as if he's looking back. And it's probably because it's in reverse. But I think this is a great time for my pile ones to appreciate how far you've come, to not attack where you are currently at because it may not be where you want to be, but to find something to appreciate. find something to tell the universe thank you for, and to connect with that gratitude, like really truly feel this level of thanks from your soul, from your heart, from the depths of you. Do not judge where you are at. Find a reason to say thank you. Another thing that I'm seeing here is some of you may have recently said goodbye to something or someone, and it may be hard to you, or it may be hard for you to leave this thing or person in the past. You may want to go back to familiarity, but you have to go. You have to go. You have to say goodbye. Say thank you for this goodbye, though. Even if this is something that you just recently had to part from, I know that's usually the most difficult time to say goodbye to something, is when you just recently parted from it. But find the thanks in that. Find the gratitude in that. Find the appreciation. Find the celebration in that. Find the life in goodbye. There's life in death. Death does not mean the ending of anything, because nothing ever really truly dies. Death just means the beginning of the next phase, of a new phase, the beginning of this transformative phase where you are transforming, you're literally morphing, evolving into something else. So there is life in death. The only things that actually have a true ending are the ones in this 3D realm. Those are the only things that truly end. But as far as the energy realm, the other dimensions, nothing ever truly dies. So, you have to be able to say thank you for that death. You have to be able to say thank you for that separation. This is all about looking back and seeing where it is that you've come from, because you have to go. You have to go. So this is all about looking back at where you've come from, what's happened, and being honest about what's happened, whether it's been good or bad, and being grateful for all of it, because guess what? You're still here. You came out of this hole, still here, still you. So say goodbye and say thank you for the lessons. Thank you from where I'm coming from, and thank you for where I am going. Thank yourself for making it through and for being prepared to step out again, because you will be prepared to step out again, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out this card here. This is going to be showing me who will be trying to contact you for Samhain or Halloween. And we have here the 5 of Cups in reverse. So someone from the past may be trying to contact you or to connect with you or to you again. So this is someone that misses you very, very much. This could be someone that you know that is living, or this could be someone that has passed on. Either way, I'm seeing this as someone that is sad that they had to part from you. They miss you and this relationship so very much. They miss your presence. They miss your energy, the sound of your voice, the way you smile, the way you talk, how you use your words, how you see life. They miss everything about you, and they see you everywhere. Everywhere they turn, everywhere they look, there you are. Not literally, but it's like everything they look at, everything they interact with, every person they may meet, it's like they're seeing you, or they're comparing it to you, or they're comparing this experience to you, or it may conjure up a memory or something that reminds them of you, that puts them kind of back in that place where you were in their life. Whoever this is, they miss you a lot. They realize how much they lost when they lost you. So if this is a soul or spirit on the other side, then they have been trying to contact you or connect with you. And because of this King of Swords energy over here, where everything is very logical with you, they feel separated from you. They feel disconnected from you if this is a soul or a spirit. As well as this could also still be somebody that is living, like if you guys parted ways in your relationship, then they could see you as somebody that's very logical, that's very like, no, I'm not going back there. Like, we didn't work out, or we ended, or we parted ways for a reason, and I'm going to stick with that reason. So they may see it as though like they're not going to want to hear from me. But if this is an entity, an energy, a spirit on the other side, in the other dimensions, then what I'm seeing is they've been disconnected. They feel disconnected from you. They feel separated from you. There may be some astral traveling involved during this time for you as well. I kind of saw it a little bit with this 3 of Wands, but like now I'm seeing it for sure with this 5 of Cups. But make sure that you are prepared, okay? Make sure that you are prepared. 3 of Wands, make sure that you are prepared. The 3 of Wands, like I was saying before, he's somebody that's very prepared. That's why he's ready to step out. That's why he's ready to go. That's why he's, as you can see, it looks like he's just, all right, looking out over the horizon like I'm ready to go. I know what I know what the plan is. I know what I need to do. I know the plan that I need to execute. I am ready to go. I kind of saw it with the 3 of Wands, but I didn't really want to say it because it was a very small feeling. But Now, seeing this Five of Cups, there may definitely be some astral traveling, astral projection involved here, but I see this being a way that many people or spirits come to contact you. Because when you are awake, you dismiss them as, no, that's not logical with this King of Swords energy. You dismiss everything as, no, oh, okay, I heard a random noise. Well, it's just the house is settling, or it's just this, or it's just that, or the lights flickered. Well, it's probably just because it's a storm outside, or it's been really windy today. You find all these logical, practical reasons to dismiss what you are experiencing in your waking life. So I see that when you are sleeping, or maybe meditating, or when you are still, when you are quiet, is when you have most of your experiences, but you dismiss them with this King of Swords energy here. You dismiss it as, since I can't wrap my practical brain around this, I'll just leave that there. I'm not even going to entertain that. But there's a disconnect here. Someone is really trying to make their way to you. There's even a bridge in this Five of Cups, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Like, you see this bridge here? There's a little bridge. And that, to me, I'm seeing that as connection. I'm seeing that as somebody trying to make their way to you. They can't cross the water, so I'm going to make some sort of bridge where I can get to you. Even in this Three of Wands upright, they look like they are looking at, how can I get to the other side? If you look at that, I mentioned that before I saw the Five of Cups. Like, it's like he's looking out over the horizon. It looks like he's looking at, how can I get to that other side? Because that's exactly what the Three of Wands is about. It's about, I've been prepared. I've been preparing. I'm ready. Now I know how to make it to that other side that I'm trying to get to. He has to cross like what looks like a sea or an ocean, right? He's got to cross a lot of water, just like in this Five of Cups, he has to cross water. They're looking like, how can I get to the other side? How can I get over there? How can I get to them? How can I get them to see me? How can I get them to hear me? How can I get them to expand their mind? Because right now, like I was saying with the King of Swords, your mind is a little closed off to certain things because you're so practical. You're ruling, you're leading with your logic. So everything that doesn't fit into that logical world, that practical world, you dismiss it as, well, you don't fit here, you don't belong here, so I'm not even going to acknowledge you. I'm just going to write you off as something, I don't know what, like I was saying, like the house is just settling, or it's really windy outside. I'm just going to write you off as something else that's practical that I can't understand. And so with this Three of Wands, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing them saying, how can I get you to see me? How can I get you to hear me? How can I get you to expand your mind? Because right now, everything I'm doing, all the efforts I'm making, they are shutting them down right away. I see your abilities going ham, like kicking into overdrive for Samhain, for Halloween. Because whoever this is, whether they be living or are on the other side or in a different dimension, they're waiting. They're waiting. They are definitely waiting. They're waiting for this King of Swords energy to soften up. They're waiting for this King of Swords to open up, to expand his mind, especially in this Three of Wands. They're waiting for that bridge, that veil to thin, so you won't be able to deny their presence. That's what they're doing. You won't be able, they're waiting for a moment where it is that you won't be able to logically talk yourself out of this. You're going to know. King of Swords is saying, I know, I am very clear. I am very logical. I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is this is that, this is that fact. This is fact. This is not opinion. This is not something that can be swayed. This is not subjective. This is what it is. King of Swords is very boom. That's why he's so narrow-minded, because he's very, no, I know what this is. 1 + 1 is 2. That's it. So this, whoever is waiting, especially if this is a spirit, an entity on the other side, a deity, whatever it may be, your higher self, your angels, a higher power, God, the divine, the universe, whatever it is, you see it as, your ancestors. It's waiting. It's waiting for you to not be able to logically deny what it is that they are, what it is that you are experiencing. Especially in this Three of Wands, they're waiting for that bridge, for that veil to thin, so you won't be able to deny their presence. You won't be able to logically talk yourself out of this, because you are going to know, like the King of Swords, who is very, very sure of whatever it is that he deems logical, he is sure of it. You're going to know with this King of Swords energy that what you saw, what you felt, what you heard and imagined and experienced was as real as flesh and bone. It's fact, it is logic, it is practicality. There will be no denying it. Whoever is waiting on you is smart enough to know that they have to wait for that perfect moment in time. They have to wait for the right time. So they are saving their energy and they are waiting. They're waiting for you to open your mind, because you are and you have been slowly opening your mind a little more each day. You've been studying, researching, you've been on pick a card readings, you've been practicing with your abilities, you've been learning more about yourself. You are on this reading for a reason. This is not a coincidence. This is a message to you right now, possibly from this energy here. This is a message to you right now. You're here for a reason. And the message here is that when the time comes and this is revealed to you, this energy reveals itself to you, you will not be able to deny it. This is your confirmation. So afterwards, you will know what to do. So afterwards, this Three of Wands card, this Three of Wands energy is not going to be in reverse. It's going to be upright, and you're going to know exactly how to traverse this energy. So that the way you're going to know how to traverse, how to maneuver through this energy, how to use it, how to work with it. That's what I was saying. This is practice. This is connection. This is, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys have to excuse me when I'm channeling. I pretty much forget every time it is that I'm channeling what it is that I'm saying. But that was the first thing that I heard when I saw this card was connection. Bridge. A bridge is a connection. When they're waiting for that connection to be established, for that bridge to form, like in this Five of Cups here, they're waiting for that bridge to form so they can finally walk over and say, hey, now I am here in your realm. Now I'm here in your world. Now I am logical. Now I am practical just like you. I am in this reality, this logical reality where you cannot deny my presence. You have to acknowledge me. You have to see me. You have to hear me, because there is something that I've been needing to say to you. There has been this separation here. And because of this separation, I cannot tell you, I cannot give you the messages. I cannot deliver the things to you that I've been trying to deliver to you. So you may be feeling a little stuck or confused. You may be feeling a little awkward with your abilities. They may be a little awkward right now. You may be trying to wield your abilities and you're not able to because that connection isn't formed yet. That's what's going on here. That's amazing. I'm loving my pile ones right now. I am loving this. Wow, that came through really heavy, really strong, really fast. But that's what I'm seeing here. They're waiting for that connection so they can help guide you. So they can help guide you through this, because this is a brand new experience for you. Whether you're a person that's been spiritual prior to this reading or not, there's some sort of newness here. Maybe you've ascended a level or something like that. Maybe you're having another awakening. Maybe this is your first great awakening. There's some sort of awakening. There's some sort of expansion that's happening here. And that expansion is just like that bridge. You're expanding halfway. And then when Samhain or Halloween comes, when the veil is thinner, that other half of the bridge is going to form. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're going to be able to come to you, to contact you, to deliver the messages it is that they've been trying to deliver to you for some time now. They've been trying to deliver these messages to you. And when that bridge forms, they're going to be able to, it's going to be so much information that they give to you. There's just going to be downloads and tons of information for you. All right, so let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards, see what else it is that we're seeing here. The very first one that we have is Shagai. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but fragmented. The next card that we have here is, look at this, you guys, scrying mirror projection. Look at that word projection. Oh my goodness. The energy in this reading is insane. The energy in this reading is so insane right now. Look at this card. Energy. Okay, a light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. Wow. Okay. I'm hearing you loud and clear. The next card that we have is new beginnings. Look at this. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell, you guys. And then we have, look at this. Magical powers. I weave and clear, I cast and know. Magic's secrets to me now show. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Skull of stars, infinite possibilities. And we have here the black cat. Your luck will soon change. Beautiful. And this is Bas or Baset, the Kemetic Neteru, deity, in other words, of protection, divine protection. Okay. These oracle cards, man, these oracle cards freaked me out. All right. So starting off with fragmented, I'm just going to call this card fragmented because I can't say that word. I don't know what that is. But so yes, you are a bit fragmented right now, but I see you slowly reclaiming these divided pieces of yourself and putting them back together, almost like a puzzle piece, coming to reveal or paint this picture in full where you can see yourself completely. You can see your abilities. You can see your powers. You can finally see, because now this bridge is here. This bridge is connecting you to another part of yourself that it kind of exists in these other dimensions, in this other world. And that bridge is going to almost connect you to yourself. Okay. And moving on to the underworld here, where all things pause and begin again. So underworld, don't think of the underworld as hell or a bad place. This is like your subconscious, the underworld. It's like that void space where the shadow waits. I know a lot of people associate darkness with something evil or bad, or something is trying to get you, but it doesn't mean that. Darkness is just something that we naturally fear or don't like because we can't see. We're human beings. We are instinctively set up to survive. When we are encountering things that we don't understand or that we can't clearly see, like the King of Swords here, especially with my pile ones, the underworld, this void space may really freak the hell out of you, because the King of Swords is somebody, like, as you can see, it's clear skies around him. That's because he only works with clarity. He only works with truth. So, somebody with my pile one, working with the void space, working with this dark space may really scare the shit out of you. This space is where like your subconscious lies. This is where your shadow waits in hiding almost. This is where all things that we have disconnected from in this dimension lie in waiting. It even says where all things pause and begin again. So I'm seeing this as you bridging. That bridge that is going to be connected is going to connect you to this void space. It's going to connect you to that space that you may fear, that you may not like, or that you may not want to necessarily explore. But you're not going to really have much of a choice. I'm saying here for my pile ones, I'm saying that like this is going to kind of happen anyways, because you're, like I was saying before with this King of Swords, you've been slowly kind of leading up to this. You've been slowly sort of expanding your mind and leading up to this place. You're almost at this point where the bridge is going to begin at, where the bridge is going to start forming. And so that's where this void space is. You may be scared to actually cross that bridge, because once you do, you're completely in this void space. You're completely in this underworld space. But that is where all of your answers lie. That's where your abilities, your talents, your powers lie. Okay. And then moving on to the Skull of Stars right here, where it says infinite possibilities, beautiful. This feels like astral traveling. For some of you, that may be in your sleep. For some, it'll be a meditation. For others, you may try to induce a astral projection. I never advise people to try to force an astral experience where they are traveling, where they are projecting, where they're moving around in their astral body. I usually advise people to kind of allow that to naturally happen. But if you are going to induce it, just make sure that that you are completely prepared. Three of Wands, that you're prepared. You are ready for this travel. Okay. Just make sure that you are. Many of you are going to be doing this anyways, whether you kind of want to or not. This may be through your dreams. This may be when you're meditating. This may just kind of come on just out of nowhere when you're really relaxed. And if it does, just make sure that your mind is kind of in this place where it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm experiencing this, I'm taking everything as it comes in. Just realize that, you're kind of in that dream state. It's kind of like when you're dreaming. That's exactly what it's like. It's kind of like being in that dream state. So just don't look for anything to scare you. Don't look for anything to cause you any fear, anything like that. Okay. And call in your protection. Bast. She is the goddess. She is the defender. She's protection. So call in your protection. Well, I'll get to her in a minute though. But just call in your protection. Make sure that you are as mentally prepared for this, because I believe that this, if you have intuitively picked pile one, I believe that this message here came to you for a reason. And this message is all about you being prepared for what's coming, because you're having a great awakening here. Whether you were spiritual prior to this reading or not, there's a great awakening happening here. So I believe that this reading is kind of like, hey, get ready, get prepared, because this is going to happen kind of maybe whether you like it or not, because that veil is going to be so thin. Okay. So moving on to scrying right here, scrying, mirror projection. You guys look at the word projection. This is so astral projection for sure. Traveling to another dimension, because some people use mirrors to see into the other realms. It's called scrying. Some people will use water, a pool of water. Some people will use like a crystal ball. Some people will just kind of stare into a blank space in order to get a visual. And what it does is that helps kind of break that separation between realms, between planes, between dimensions. And that's what scrying basically basically is. But the word projection here is what is like totally freaking me out, because I've been getting astral traveling, astral projection throughout this reading since around the Three of Wands, but it didn't really set in until this Five of Cups in reverse. So yeah, traversing the spirit plane is going to be a very heavy thing for my pile ones for Samhain, for Halloween. Okay, and the black cat here. So the black cat, your luck will soon change. This is Bas or Baset. She's the Neteru of protection. She protects the pharaoh. That was her job in ancient Kemet, was to protect the pharaoh, the king of swords, and the defender of Ra, the sun god Ra. So call in protection around this time. Call in Bast if you feel drawn to her. This actually Bast may be a spirit guide for you during this time. For her to come up, and she is known as the goddess, the deity of protection. She's kind of like Sekhmet. She's almost like Sekhmet's companion in a sense. Sekhmet is protection, but she's more so protection through chaos, protection through destroying. Bast, she is protection. She's a defender. She's just waiting right beside you. She's like that security that's just hovering right beside you, so that the way nothing can come close to you. So call on Bast, call on Baset. She may be a spirit guide. She may be a spirit animal. You may even be able to communicate with her. So I feel like she's going to be right with my pile ones during Samhain, during Halloween. I feel like she's going to be right beside you guys, protecting you. For her to come through with this pile, for her to be the center card and to come through with this pile, I think she's definitely going to be there to protect you. I think that's her role here. And moving on to energy, magical powers, and new beginnings. New beginnings. What did I say, you guys? You're awakening right now. There's a lot of newness going on here right now that is very beautiful. It's very powerful what is happening. You're definitely awakening to a new something. There's new abilities, new powers that you are coming into, and this bridge is going to bring all of that together. This bridge is going to carry you into your new beginning. And then we have here energy, magical powers. You guys, the energy is going to be so intense. The energy of this reading is very intense. Magical powers. What did I tell you guys? You guys are coming into your new abilities. That's insane. That's crazy. So I'm just going to, for this reading specifically, I normally only do this in my new moon and full moon videos, but for this entire reading, for all three piles, I'm just going to leave you guys with the cards to come up with your own interpretations of them. So I'm just going to go on ahead and exit out here, take a screenshot, or sit with the cards yourself. I'm just going to leave you guys with these, but I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. Thank you to your guides, my guides, our higher self, and spirit itself. This was such a beautiful, powerful message today. You guys enjoy your Samhain, enjoy your Halloween. I love you guys so very much. Stay safe, stay blessed. Call in Baset. Hopefully you guys come back to visit me sometime soon, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. All right, bye guys. All right, and pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with the tarot cards, and this card all the way over here to the left is going to be showing me what you are releasing, what Samhain marks the ending of in your life. This card in the middle is going to be showing me how you should be spending Samhain or celebrating this time, or Halloween, however it is you refer to it. And this card over here to the right will be showing me who will be trying to contact you, whether this is a living person or somebody that has passed on, or an energy or an entity or a deity or a angel, ancestor, whatever, from the other side. And I'm really excited to get to my pile twos, because this was my pile for everything extra. We have there's 4 cards here. I was only trying to pull 1 card of these for each pile, but 4 cards jumped out as I was shuffling, because I only work with jumper cards in my readings, in all of my readings. But 4 cards jumped out from this deck, 3 cards jumped out from this one. So this was my extra piles. So I'm excited to get to this reading. So starting off with this card to the left, and I just have to say that just touching this card right here, right now, I feel like my energy is I feel like my skin is shedding like a snake. Like, it feels like I can literally feel my energy almost peeling off of me. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. So you've been waiting for something, and you're not waiting anymore, pile 2. You've been waiting for confirmation, for validation, proof, justification, understanding, for answers. You're releasing the need to know. That's what I'm saying for Samhain. I see you releasing the need to know everything before going or doing or trusting. I'm seeing you step out on faith instead. taking the vision, the dream, the goals that you see in your mind's eye and in your heart and leading with those instead. I see you releasing doubts and fears, any insecurities you had. I see you not looking for something or someone to remove those insecurities, doubts, and fears anymore, but instead you taking that job into your own hands and saying, move aside, I got this. I'm not living this life of fear anymore. I'm not living this life of doubt and anxiety. I'm going to live. I'm going to live now. I'm going to fall for that person. I'm going to fall in love. I'm going to fall in love again. I'm going to trust. I'm going to try. I don't even care if I fall flat on my face anymore. I'm just sick of waiting for that night or that person or this whatever to come and rescue me. I'm sick of waiting for this whatever to come and rescue me. I'm sick of waiting for my transportation, for my rescue, for my validation. I'm just going to go out and do it. I'm just going to go after it. I'm just going to try. This is like my pile of fuck it. This is YOLO energy right here. Like, you only live once. You're not listening to logic and reason anymore because you realize now that your logic was never actually truth, but in fact, it was just disguised as common sense, but underneath it was actually fear. And that fear was keeping you from living. That may sound really simple, but if you have intuitively picked this pile, then you know what it is like to live with that fear. You know that that is a huge, huge step for you to separate, to remove yourself from that fear, to kill that fear is a huge thing for you. It's like you're not waiting for that sign anymore. I feel like my pile twos are the people that are always waiting, asking, and looking for a sign before taking that step, before taking that risk. I see you jumping out of that plane with zero fear and yelling at the top of your lungs, YOLO. Like just taking that moment and just living. Just living for once, just living without thinking, without contemplating, without planning, without trying to stay 8 steps ahead. I just see you like, I just need to live. I just need to breathe. I just need to do. I just need to go. I need to stop worrying and fussing and frantically trying to guess what's going to happen every step of the way, or trying to make sure I have all of my eggs in a basket, trying to make sure I have all my ducks in a line before I make that step. It's like, it's too much. That's a waste of energy. It's like, let me just try it for once. Let me just do it for once. You're not waiting for that sign anymore. You're just going for it, and you're just trusting yourself and embracing it as whatever happens, happens. But let me tell you what that's going to do. That's going to make you so magical and so attractive to the universe, to energies, to experiences, to opportunities, to other people, to yourself. These things will see you and say, yeah, let's choose you, because this person, you being this person, because this person is willing. Even if you're not as prepared as other options, even if you don't know as much as other people, you are confident and willing. And that is all you need for this opportunity to choose you and to take a chance on you. That's magic right there. That's the magic. That is your magic. This is you creating your own way. You are creating your own luck. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Let's go on ahead and move on to this middle card here to see how you should spend Samhain or celebrate this time. And we have here the Two of Swords, another sword card. All right. So you celebrate this time by, what I'm getting here, you celebrate this time by saying, screw logic and fear and doubt. This person is holding 2 swords. Yeah, sure. But it's not like they're going to actually do anything with them because they're blindfolded. Those swords are literally useless to this individual because they can't see. And anytime we have somebody that's blindfolded in tarot, it's usually to show that they are unbiased, that they cannot be swayed in one direction or another. They're not listening to opinions and thoughts and judgments. Whether these thoughts are their own or belong to someone else, they are blindfolded to tell the world to be quiet. I don't care what you have to say. I'm going to make this decision on my own with my own discernment. This is wisdom here. That's what I'm seeing with this Two of Swords. I'm seeing wisdom because they are not using those swords. They are feeling, because we have the moon in the background here. As you can see, the moon, it's a crescent moon, and the moon is indicative of feeling. We have Mama Luna is here because this person is sensing, they're feeling, they're discerning, they're using common sense, they're following their heart, listening to their intuition. They're being guided by everything but logic. They're being directed by everything except for what they can see. This is about feeling. This is about jumping out of that plane, yelling, you only live once. I'm going to do this because it feels right. It feels good. It speaks to me. You don't matter. Your opinions don't matter. This left sword, this right sword, it doesn't matter. Yes, you are here. Yes, I'm holding these two swords, but they don't factor into my decisions. This is common sense because it makes sense to me. These two swords that they are holding is to show the fact that yes, these options are here. Yes, these options are presenting themselves. Yes, these opinions and these judgments and these other people are here trying to feed their own opinions and trying to influence your decisions and things like that. They're trying to feed their own influence into you, but you're just not hearing it. You're just not seeing it. Yes, they are here. They're holding these two swords, even though these two swords are not even usable, because they're saying, yes, you are here. Yes, you are present. Yes, the world is loud. Yes, the world is speaking. I didn't even ask for their opinion, but the world is still giving it to me anyways. Yeah, you're here. I can acknowledge that, sure, but that's as much as you're going to get from me, because other than that, I'm not seeing you. I'm not hearing you. I'm going within. I'm listening to myself, to my own heart, to my own desires, to my own feelings. What do I want? Mama Luna, she's all the way in the background. She's not even on the same planet, but she's there. She's present, and that is what you are leading with here. All right, so let's go on ahead and take a look at this card here to see who will be trying to contact you during Samhain or Halloween, however you refer to it. And we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Another sword card. Interesting, right? It's like you just give zero fucks right now about what makes sense. I know this is all about who's trying to contact you, but I just have to say this. You're just like, I don't care. I feel like my pile twos may have just recently kind of reached this point because you finally exhausted yourself. You drained yourself by needing to always have all of the facts before making a move. You're drained of watching life pass you by as you sit and wait for every T to be crossed and every I to be dotted before you make a move. You're sick of waiting. You're taking what you need or want, and not in a bad way where it's like you're taking something that's not yours, but you are taking it. You are claiming authority. Things may have gone quieter still for my pile twos for a while, and that's why you're at where you are at. That's why you are exhausted, because it's like, you know what? I've been waiting for these signs. I've been waiting for this validation. I've been waiting for my proof that now is my time to go, and you know what? It's not coming. It's just quiet right now. I'm waiting. I've got my ears and my eyes open. I'm waiting, but I don't hear or see anything. Nothing is approaching me right now. So you know what? I'm sick of waiting. I'm just going to go. Okay, I just had to say that. But as far as who's trying to contact you, I'm seeing an authoritative figure. They may have feminine energy to them, but this is someone that's trying to talk you out of something is what I'm getting. This is someone that's trying to, they're not trying to instill fear into you. I'm not going to say that. They're not trying to make you afraid. But they are asking questions like, well, how are you going to do this? Or how are you going to do that? How will you make this happen? Why would you do this? Why would you make this step? Why would you go in this direction? Why are you rushing things? Don't you need to plan this out? Don't you need to plan that out? I kind of feel like this person is kind of like on the team on the other side, where it's like, well, don't you want to plan? Don't you want to wait for your confirmation? Don't you want to wait until you know? And I just kind of feel like you're telling them, like, you can wait, but I'm doing this, you know? And so I don't necessarily feel like this is somebody that is on the other side. This kind of feels like somebody that's living that you know, that you maybe communicate with a lot. Could be like a mother figure, something like that, a parent, somebody maybe that you talk to a lot, get advice from a lot. This is somebody that is pragmatic or rational. You know, that they're very like, where's your head at? This is someone that doesn't understand you in the decisions that you're making because they're so pragmatic. But you're not waiting for everything to check out anymore. But you're not waiting anymore for that confirmation to come down the line or the chain of command. You're not waiting for the process. You're calling out the process. And you're saying, you're not moving fast enough for me. I don't even know if you're moving anymore. Because you are understanding that it doesn't matter if you choose this left sword or this right sword. They both lead to the same thing. And I see this as someone like a mother figure or someone that sees themselves as trying to speak some sense into you. This Queen of Swords in reverse, I'm seeing, could also be your anxiety that may be trying to contact you, that may be trying to interfere with your decision. This could be your fears, your doubts that are trying to kind of come in and interfere, because this is in reverse. And I'm not necessarily getting that this is like some wise person. I'm getting that this is somebody that is not necessarily wrapped up in fear, but this is like, either this is your fears and maybe that's what I'm getting here, or this could be a person, somebody that you know or thought, something like that. This could be a pattern of yours where it's like, okay, this is that part of the pattern. This is that part of the cycle where it's like, I'm ready to go out and make this move. And then this part of the cycle appears where it's like, but wait, don't you want to make sure? And it's like, nope, you're not getting me this time. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that I'm seeing. All right, and the first card that we have here is book, knowledge, crystals, healing. Look at this, victory. I shall celebrate and I shall rise. I will let victory make me wise. True love come to me. True love shall come to me. As I do will, so mote it be. Joy, rejoicing in the present, beautiful. The lamp, remembrance. Ghost, regret. Seduction, passion, and romance await. The Sphinx, choose your words carefully. Medusa, jealousy leads to downfall. And the satyr, I think it is, satire, I don't know. Revelry and indulgence. Okay, so starting off with Medusa, jealousy leads to downfall. So jealousy I'm seeing as like I said earlier, you may have been waiting for a long time for that reassurance. And as you were waiting, it was like life was passing you by. And so you felt this fear that you were missing out, and that may have caused you to be in your own way. So that's what I'm seeing jealousy as. I'm seeing it as, man, where's my turn? I've been waiting. I'm asking, I'm praying, I'm doing everything that I need to be doing. I'm doing everything that I should be doing, and it's still not happening for me. That's how I'm seeing this card here. Moving on to the Sphinx, choose your words carefully. It's interesting because we do have every tarot card here is from the suit of the swords. So there's definitely a conversation or some sort of exchange, really important conversation that needs to be had or will be made, possibly around the time of Samhain. The satire, I don't know, but revelry and indulgence. So yeah, you are diving deep into something and you are letting go of all of your reservations and inhibitions of this thing. Like I was saying, you're jumping out of that plane yelling, you only live once. You are completely diving into everything it is that you want and need. So with seduction and true love come to me, there could be a relationship, maybe that could be the thing that you're choosing to dive into. This relationship, this person could be the thing that you're choosing to take a chance on, or that you're diving back into, as well as the seduction card is telling me that you're taking a chance on yourself, on your heart and your feelings. Whether this be a person, a relationship or not, you are going for it. This could be a business, a job, a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel, a move, a lifestyle change. It could be anything, honestly. It's something you desire so much, but you were trying to set yourself up for and do things the right way before making this step. I see you completely ignoring that. So seduction could just be saying this is something that you've been really wanting, and it feels so good to just finally to take that control into your own hands and to just go for it. And then moving on to the lamp, remembrance. That's how I'm seeing you. You know what it's like to watch everyone else live their life, to watch life choose everyone else except for you. And you're not doing that anymore. You're walking up to life. You're walking up to that chance, that opportunity, that risk, and you are just taking it. That's how you're rejoicing in the present. That's exactly how you are taking the present and you are making it your own by living it, discerning it like the Two of Swords with the moon in the background, by feeling all the way into it, because you don't want to regret it. This feels like your moment, and you may be afraid that you may never feel this ready or this confident or this reckless maybe to actually try for it again. So you see this as your moment, as your opportunity to get out there. And you may just be worried about, well, if I don't do this right now, I don't know when I'm going to be this confident, this ready, this reckless again. Because like I said, you're usually waiting. You're usually kind of doing this Two of Swords here, where you're just kind of waiting. You're waiting for everything to check out. And you guys, look, we have the card of victory here. Victory, you guys, let that set in. This is saying that this is going to work out. It's going to work out. This is your magic, like I said at the beginning of this reading, and crystals healing. What I see for Samhain is you working with crystals or earth energy, things like that, really being able to connect with them, really being able to. So if you're somebody that has crystals, things like that, and maybe you've been trying to connect with them, maybe you've been trying to meditate with them, maybe you've been trying to use them for certain things, this is the perfect time for this card to come up. This is the perfect time for you to connect to your crystals. That's what it is. It's almost as if your crystals popped up in this reading and are saying, hey, spend some time with me for Samhain, for Halloween. Because you're really going to be able to connect and feel them and feel their healing powers and their energies and their properties and things like that. And with book knowledge, what I'm seeing here is I see you learning through experience and living through experience instead of reading about someone else's experience, instead of watching other people live their life, instead of watching everyone else, instead of watching life choose everyone else. I see you making or writing or creating your own story. I see you, like I said earlier, creating your own luck. You are writing your own story right now. You are choosing to pick that pen up and write your own story, to write your own life, to write your own book, instead of waiting for someone to come and be like, hey, I'm ready to write your story for you now. You're like, no, you know what? I'm writing my own story. You are creating your own luck pile too. This is amazing. So I'm just going to leave you guys here with the cards to kind of come up with your own interpretation of what it is that you are seeing. I normally only do this in my new and full moon videos, but I decided for this specific pick a card reading for Samhain, I feel like it's just really important to kind of leave you guys to come up with your own interpretation. So I'll leave you guys with the cards here. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you want to, or pause the video. But thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for delivering such a beautiful, powerful message today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. Have an amazing, blessed Samhain, Halloween. And until next time, I'll see you guys later, all right? Bye now. All right, in pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we'll be starting off with the tarot cards. And this card all the way over here to the left is going to be showing me what it is that you are releasing, or what does Samhain mark the ending of in your life. This card in the middle is going to be showing me how you should spend Samhain or celebrate this time. And this card all the way over here to the right will be showing me who will be trying to contact you during Samhain, aka Halloween. And this could be somebody that is living or that has passed on, somebody from a different dimension. Okay, so let's just go on ahead and begin. And the very first card that we have here is the Wheel of Fortune. So this card is very interesting. I love this card. I love so many cards in tarot, honestly, but this card is one that always kind of just, it stops you. I think it stops everybody in their tracks, and they're like, what the hell is going on? Let me just hold this up. As you can see here, there's 4 beings. You know, we've got the man here representing Aquarius, and we have Scorpio, Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, and Scorpio being the phoenix rising from the ashes, because it's all about transformation, right? We have a little devil being, a sphinx, and a snake circling this wheel with all these esoteric symbols on the wheel. There's a lot going on in this card. This wheel actually talks about a prophet from the Bible, from the Christian Bible, Ezekiel. He was a prophet to the Israelites, and he was responsible for leading the Israelites to God. But that's a different topic for a different day. But there's a lot going on in this card, and it's in reverse. So this is telling me that the wheel is starting to get to you, or it has gotten to you. What needs to be shed here is you trying to alter the course of events in your life. They say that if you want to hear God laugh, then tell him your plans, right? That's the saying. That's the embodiment of this card, because people will look at it and say, oh, it's about good luck. Well, yeah, maybe sometimes, yeah, maybe, sure, maybe to you it is. But how I see this card is a little more in depth, or a little more abstract. This card is about a wheel, which is 360 degrees. So it's about a cycle where sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. Fortune doesn't always look like fortune. Luck doesn't always feel like luck. What's good for you doesn't always feel good to you. That is what this card is talking about. You have to understand that right now things are a certain way, pile 3, for your benefit. That's what needs to be shed, is your idea of what is right and wrong, what is up versus down, what is success and what is failure, because it's taking a toll on you when you're trying to attach yourself to certain labels, attach yourself to success. Success looks like this, failure looks like that. When you're trying to become these things, when you're trying to side more over here with success versus failure, you're putting stress on yourself, unnecessary stress. Because something doesn't feel good, you may have come to the conclusion that it isn't good. Has something ever happened to you maybe before? Like maybe a breakup, a divorce, maybe your plans changed and you couldn't go with your friends somewhere. Maybe a road was blocked and so you were late to work. But later on you ended up hearing or seeing the truth. This is hindsight is 2020. That's what this card is kind of about. That breakup may have been the worst thing that ever happened to you. That divorce may have been the most difficult thing you've ever gone through. But you look back and you are so much happier because you are free. Or maybe that divorce, maybe that separation, maybe that most difficult time in your life ended up with you meeting the love of your life. You missing out on that party with your friends ended up being a great thing because maybe a fight broke out, or that road that you were blocked from and made you late for work saved you from that accident that ended up happening on that same route. And maybe the things that you thought were good ended up being not so great. If you've ever experienced moments in your life like that, it's because the wheel of fortune was looking out for you. We don't understand the wheel and why things happen the way that they do. But at the center of that wheel is Lady Fortuna. It's not depicted in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this deck here. Some decks, she is present in the center of this wheel. But that's who's sitting in the middle of that wheel is Lady Fortune. Her name is Lady Fortuna. And that means that she always has your back. She knows what's going to work out for your highest and greatest good. So shed the thought or the belief that because something looks or feels a certain way, that that's what this is. This card is saying, take me as I come and take me with gratitude and appreciation, because you don't understand. You don't know why it is that I'm doing the things that I'm doing, but I'm doing it for your own good, for your protection, for your highest and greatest good. So if things don't feel great now, the wheel hasn't stopped. It's always turning. It's 360 degrees. And your Lady Fortune is at the center of this universe and your world, working in your favor always. Just remember that, okay? Moving on to this card here in the center. Let's see how you should spend Samhain or celebrate it, okay? And we have here, look at this. The Six of Wands. So how you celebrate Samhain or Halloween, whatever you call it, is by being victory, by becoming it. Don't reach for it. Whatever it is that you want or need, don't reach for it. Become it. Don't try for it. Be it. Become victory itself. That the way when the wheel turns, you are still victorious. This isn't an illusion. This is not denial. This is you realizing the wheel and realizing that Lady Fortune is at the center, turning things in your favor always. So become victory. Become success. Become what you want your life to be, because fortune is turning the wheel, not failure. Fortune is. That means that you are always victorious. That means even in the hard times, those times are working for your favor. You just can't see it because there's so much going on. You don't really know what the hell is going on, but you just can't see it. It doesn't mean that it's not working out for you just because you can't see it. That's the thing about us being human. Human really kind of, it almost kind of separates us sometimes from that higher self, from that spiritual self, because we're looking through the five senses. We are interpreting life, this experience of life, through our five senses. The five senses are seen as communicators, these translators of life. This is how we interact with life. This is how we come to understand life, through these five senses, right? Through seeing, smelling, hearing, feeling, tasting. This is how we observe life. This is how we understand it. So just because you can't use your five senses doesn't mean, or just because you are using your five senses and you don't like what those five senses are translating to you, does not mean that things are not working out in the way that you want or need them to. Remember, there's a lot going on in this Wheel of Fortune card. You take one look at it. You take one look at this card and anyone would be like, I don't even know what this is. It's like seeing a language that no one can decode. It doesn't make sense. So don't worry about making sense of it. Know that you are taken care of. Know that you are victorious, even if you can't see it right now. The time is coming where the wheel will turn and your outer circumstances, your reality will match who you are and what you feel, which is success, triumph, achievement, mastery, a win. That's what you have to become. You need to spend this time starting with Samhain, becoming what you want. You don't need to be it. You need to become it. I remember around the 6-month point into starting my spiritual journey, I had a dream. And in this dream, I saw something I hadn't seen since I was a child. So this was over like 20 plus years. When I was a kid, I had this reoccurring dream for years and years and years of God chasing me down the street. And I'd be running as far away from him as I could. And I never saw him again until 6 months into my spiritual journey. So 20 plus years later, I have this dream and I was just floating in space and there was just darkness everywhere surrounding me. I wasn't afraid. I was very calm. I was very, very peaceful. But there was no universe. There was no galaxies yet. And as I was just floating in space, I looked to my right and I saw God sitting there. He was just sitting there. And I was shocked because I realized like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in over 2 decades. And then I realized in the middle of that dream, I was like, oh my goodness, he finally caught up to me. I'm not running anymore. But then I also noticed that Spirit was looking down and God was holding these 2 roses in its hands. And Spirit said, In the beginning, I created the heavens and the earth. And he clicked these two roses together, and I saw the universe begin to form. And it started as this ball of light. Then it began to form almost like these spirals. I saw the outer spirals of the universe, and there was all these galaxies in it. It took me some months to understand exactly what that dream meant. And then I realized one day, oh, the divine formed the universe with nothing but two roses in one sentence, from my dream anyways. But then I realized from my dream that Spirit wasn't frantic. Spirit wasn't trying to figure out how to make this and that happen. Spirit created life by just simply speaking it, because that's how much faith and confidence the divine has within its own self. And you can speak with that much authority and with that much confidence, because guess what? The divine also exists within you. That same Spirit that created life, that created the universe, lives within you. That's how Spirit created us. That's how it gave us life, by giving us a piece of itself. You can create life. You can create whatever reality or existence you want to live, but your faith, your confidence has to be a part of that equation, and it has to be completely unwavering. You need to tap into your own divinity. And when you do this, you won't fear the wheel. You won't fear it anymore. You will become a part of it. And because of that, you will trust it to know that when I say something, when I tell the universe that this is what I need or this is what I want, I'm not going to frantically search for it. I'm going to know it is done, because I am divinity. I am divine. I'm a fraction of that same Spirit that created all things. And that same Spirit that created all things lives within me. You don't need all of that. You don't need all of Spirit to create what you want or need. The Most High created life, a universe, galaxies, stars, planets, trees. It created everything. What are you trying to create that Spirit hasn't already made or touched or created? It's already yours. Speak with that authority, because you are divinity. Claim your own divinity. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this card over here. This is going to be showing me who may be trying to contact you during Samhain, whether this be a living person or someone that has passed on, or just someone from a different dimension, energy from a different dimension. And we have here the Five of Pentacles in reverse. All right. So I see here, and this is going to sound so odd, but I see your future, your desires, your prayers, your faith trying to contact you. This card is in reverse, and that's telling me that there's a part of you that is realizing it doesn't need to run around frantically, searching and looking for help anymore. This is your higher self coming through. I know it doesn't look like it, from this card, but I feel it. I feel it so strongly. I can feel your presence, your higher self. This is the part of you that is so calm and relaxed and so in tune with its own sanctity, with its own power, with its own divinity, with its own life force, with its own wheel and Lady Fortune. And because of that, this part of you is not worried. It's not afraid. It's not angry or sad or in a rush. It's not frantic. It's calm and peaceful. This is the part of you that's going to try to contact you this Samhain, or try to connect with you to show you that there's nothing to fear. Be victory, pile 3. This higher part of you is coming to integrate with you, because it wants to show you how this wheel works. It wants to explain to you why there is nothing to fear or to be worried about. You don't need to be frantic. The specific word for this pile 3, is frantic. You don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to be that anymore. All you need to be is calm. All you need to be is trust. All you need to be is faith. You don't need to search for help, for signs that what you want and need is coming. You just need to connect to your wheel, to your Lady Fortuna. Another thing I'm seeing is souls possibly coming to some of you that have intuitively picked this pile for help, whether they are living or passed on. I see these souls coming for help, for support, for assistance, because they can't locate their own wheel, because they are terrified and shrouded in doubt and worry. So it's really important for you to connect to this higher, more calm and relaxed, trusting side of yourself, so you can lead these other lost souls to their own understanding of what is happening. I see that happening for some of you this Samhain, okay? So let's go on ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that I am seeing. Runes, perception, dowsing rods, seeker, aura, observation, candle, illumination, eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. Barmbrack, I think I'm saying that right, but it's sweetness and synergy. Dream sweet, sleep deep, sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. Fertility, let all take root, seed and sprout, let new life be all about. Beautiful. And the very last card that we have here is the gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. So starting with aura observation, this is you trying to see or understand what is happening. Where is the wheel? Does it even exist? This is you looking, like just like dowsing rod, seeking. You are seeking answers. Candle illumination right here, right next to dowsing rod seeker. Candle illumination. I see you coming to the answer in great clarity and perception, as well as runes and candles, maybe even dowsing rods, could be some sort of divinatory tool for you to use or to come into contact with for Samhain. Be very careful with dowsing rods. They are nothing to play with, you guys. But I am seeing that using some sort of tool for divination to interpret the energies around you coming in very strongly. So you may be a tarot reader yourself or use runes or rods already. Maybe you love to utilize fire or candle magic. I'm seeing this be a great time to get all of that stuff out and to go seek answers, because the answers, the wheel itself is seeking you. It wants to show itself to you. It wants to show you the truth, to connect you to that higher self, to connect you to a place of faith where you are calm and understanding and trusting of what is happening, even if it doesn't seem or look like what is happening is a great thing. Okay. Moving on to Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. I think I'm saying that right. I'm seeing this as you uniting with your own truth, with your wheel, finally coming to an understanding of what's been happening all around you. And these conclusions offering you some peace. Sometimes the truth is brutal and difficult to digest, difficult to swallow, but this will be a sweet truth, just like it says sweetness and synergy. Something it is that you love to ingest. This is going to be something that fills you up and makes you feel so much more confident, so much more calm and relaxed. This is not going to add to your fears, to your anxieties, to your worries, to your doubts, to your insecurities. This is going to add to your calmness, to your trust, to your faith, okay? This truth will. Eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. This is telling me that love is love no matter what. You are victorious no matter what. Whatever the wheel looks like, it doesn't matter. No matter what happens, you are divinity. You are supported by Lady Fortune, by spirit, by the universe, by yourself, because you are at the center of this wheel. You are Lady Fortune. Okay. Fertility over here. Look at how fertile you are right now for this card to appear. This realization of your own fate, of your own fortune, will cast new life into your reality, into your world. And dreams are going to be a powerful tool of divination for you. I made a dream pick a card video about a month ago now, where I talk very extensively about dreams. You can check that out. I'll link it down below if you want. But I see dreams as being something or a way for your higher self to show you the truth, the reality of this wheel. I see this as a way for you to connect to that higher part of yourself. And the gate. So the barrier, because it says here, a barrier keeps you from your goal. I see that barrier as you and your own understanding, because you couldn't understand the wheel. You couldn't see it. But now that gate is going to swing wide open with fertility and new life, because you understand that there's a cycle here. There's a wheel that's always spinning. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. But Lady Fortune is at the center of this, working it all out for me. And she is me. I am her. I am divinity. And I have authority over this reality. All I have to do is say what I need or want and know it to be done. Once you have reached this level of interconnectedness and faith, your life will change. You've got some power in you, so connect to that. Become victory, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing for my pile threes. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. As I said earlier, I'm just going to leave you guys with this reading with the cards here to come up with your own interpretation. Normally I only do this in my new and full moon videos, but I feel like for this specific pick a card reading, it's very important to kind of leave you guys with this, especially with Samhain being right around the corner now. So I'm just going to leave you guys with the cards here. So feel free to take a screenshot or to pause the video, whatever it is you need to do. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self and spirit itself, for delivering such a beautiful, powerful message today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until then, have an amazing Samhain and an amazing Halloween. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys.